6:15, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Romesh Piris and read by Niranjan Abesundara. The UN assures support to Sri Lanka to obtain the COVID-19 vaccine. A committee appointed to draft legislation to extend the retirement age of the private sector employees. COVID-19 recoveries in Sri Lanka nearing 30,000. Hotels get additional time to repay electricity bills. Supreme Court dismisses the fundamental rights petitions challenging the Z score. Breathalyzer devices distributed to all police stations across the country to intensify raids during the festive season. And international news, US President-elect Biden says the darkest days of the pandemic still ahead. And sports news, the Border Gavaskar Trophy, David Vaughan excluded from the second test against India in Melbourne. Several countries having started COVID-19 vaccination, the United Nations has assured Sri Lanka its support for procuring, distributing and administering of the vaccine. This pledge was made during a meeting between the Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and a UN delegation comprising of UN Resident Coordinator Ms. Hannah Singer, US WHO Representative Dr. Razia Pence and UNICEF Representative Mr. Tim Sutton. UN delegation and the Sri Lankan officials agreed that the vaccine on such a mass scale will require a whole-of-government approach to ensure Sri Lanka's preparedness for the delivery and administering of the vaccine once it arrives. 582 persons who contracted the coronavirus have recovered and have been discharged from hospitals, raising the number of recoveries to 29,882. Epidemiological unit of the Ministry of Health said 8,576 persons, including 740 nationals, are currently receiving treatment for the coronavirus at 65 facilities across the country. The number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the country remains at 38,059, following the detection of 428 patients yesterday. Ceylon Electricity Board has instructed not to disconnect the power supplied to tourist hotels registered to Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority for non-payment of the monthly electricity bills. The Minister of Power, Dallas Alhaperim, has issued the directive of the CEB considering the reduction in foreign and local tourists visiting hotels due to the COVID-19 concerns. Relief period granted to pay this year's electricity bills until next September has been extended until the 31st of December 2021. The matter was approved by the Cabinet Ministers previously. Accordingly, operators of the tourist hotels were able to pay their dues in installments next year. The Supreme Court today dismissed the fundamental rights petitions filed pertaining to the university cut-off marks of the 2019 advanced level examination. The petitions were dismissed without being taken up for examination. The petitions were dismissed with a majority ruling of a bench comprising of Justices Bhuvanika Aluvihara, S. Surya and Jasanta Kodagoda. Petitioners claimed they passed mathematics, chemistry and physics subjects on the exam under the new syllabus and charged there is a wide gap in the Z score to the old and new syllabus. 25 persons, including the Minister of Education, Secretary of the Ministry, Examination Commissioner General, Chairman of the University Grants Commission and Lieutenant General, were cited as respondents in the case. Police spokesman D.A. Jaitharohan has said a total of 130,000 breathalyzer devices used to measure blood alcohol content have been distributed to all police stations across the country to intensify raids against drunken drivers during the festive season. He said equipment would be used in special operations already being conducted to arrest drunk drivers. The special operation was commenced on December 20th and will continue till the January 5th, 2021. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
The Central Environment Authority reiterated the ban of manufacturing and selling certain single-use plastic consumer items will take effect from the 1st of January next year to make Sri Lanka free of plastics and polythene waste. Accordingly, the manufacturing of earbuds having plastic stems, popularly known as cotton buds, inflatable toys, sachets which are having capacity of 20 ml or below, filling of formulation of agrochemicals or pesticides in plastic bottles made of PET and PVC are banned from January 1st. A sub-office merchant shipping secretariat in conjunction with a marine inspection base was opened in Jaffna today. Ms. Douglas Devananda, Ports and Shipping Minister Rohit Abegunawardene and Member of Parliament Anganath Ramanathan jointly inaugurated the event. The sub-office of the Merchant Shipping Secretariat and Marine Inspection Base are located at Kites in Jaffna. Minister Douglas Devananda said this has provided a permanent solution such as overall responsibility for overseeing maritime concerns and problems of issuing certificates of eligibility and repairing faulty vessels. And that ends local news for now.
Darling, our daughter has top O-level results. Do you know what this means?
Yes, just 3 years and she'll be going abroad for her degree.
For which we'll need a bank loan.
But is a normal loan the smartest option?
What else?
The smartest way is to start an HDFC Smart Goals account.
Let your child begin their degree with no delays. Start an HDFC Smart Goals account. Call 2356 888.
Honey, you're so smart.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
A committee headed by the Commission of Labour has been appointed to draft legislation to extend the retirement age of private sector employees to 60 years. Minister of Labour Nimal Siripala de Silva, expressing his view to the media today, said employers' union and the trade union leaders should come to a resolution on the matter within a week. The minister said he had discussed the issue of extending the retirement age before National Labour Advisory Council and that the trade union leaders had agreed to extend the retirement age. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
On to Watchline, the Secretary of the Nuwara district announced to the public that has been requested to refrain from engaging in pilgrimages to Sri Pada in January 2021. Request has been made by the COVID-19 Prevention Committee of Nuwara. That came to in Watchlight. On to World News. U.S. President-elect Biden said the darkest days of the pandemic are still ahead. Japan and India defense chiefs agree to cooperate. Hong Kong pro-democracy media mogul Jimmy Lai granted bail. U.S. President-elect Joe Biden said that the worst is yet to come amid the coronavirus pandemic and called on Americans to remain vigilant over the holidays. More than 320,000 COVID-19 deaths have been reported so far in the United States, the highest in the world. Biden said in a news conference it'll take many more months to deliver vaccines to millions of U.S. citizens. Biden said the darkest days in the battle against the COVID-19 pandemic is ahead and not behind. He said tens of thousands of lives could be lost in the months to come. Japan's Defense Minister Kishi Nobuo has agreed with his Indian counterpart Rajnath Singh that two countries will work together to realize a free and open Indo-Pacific region. Kishi held a telephone conversation with Singh for the first time since Kishi took office. The pair spoke for about 45 minutes. They agreed that two countries strongly oppose any attempts to unilaterally change the status quo by coercion or in activities that escalate tension. The remarks apparently refer to China's increasing activity in the East and South China Sea. Hong Kong's High Court has granted bail to pro-democracy media mogul Jimmy Lai, the most high-profile person charged under controversial new security law. Mr. Lai, at 73, was remanded in custody earlier this month, but will now be placed under house arrest. He was ordered to pay a $1.3 million bond. The founder of Apple Daily newspaper is a fierce critic of China's authorities. He's accused of fraud and conspiring with foreign forces and could spend years in jail if he is convicted. Back to the headlines of the world news. The U.S. President-elect Biden says the darkest days of the pandemic are still ahead. Japan and India defense chiefs agree to cooperate. Hong Kong pro-democracy media mogul Jimmy Lai granted bail. That is world news. Development news. The Government Information Department said Cabinet Ministers approved a proposal presented by the Minister of Industry to conduct a feasibility study for the production of urea fertilizer in Sri Lanka. The annual fertilizer requirement of urea fertilizer in Sri Lanka is about 340,000 metric tons. A statement on Cabinet decision stated that the amount spent for urea imports in 2019 alone is 26 billion rupees. Therefore, the production of urea fertilizer in Sri Lanka will save foreign exchange for this purpose. Parantan Chemicals Limited, which is operated under the Ministry of Industries, had focused on this. Accordingly, considering the proposal, the Cabinet Ministers had decided to assign the feasibility study for the production of urea fertilizer to Ceylon Institute of Nanotechnology. That is development news. On to sports news. Cricket, the Border Gavaskar Trophy. Injured batsman David Warner has been excluded from Australia's bar-secure bubble for the second test against India in Melbourne on the 26th of December. Warner missed the test with the groin injury that kept him out of last week's series opener in Adelaide. In line with the team's bar security protocols, batsman Sean Abbott is also out of the two and left the bubble for treatment on an injury. Australia won the first match in the 4-test series by 8 wickets. That is sports news. Business news. A group of policyholders of Selingkuh Life ended 2020, a dismal year by any standard, on a happy note, where they received 5 million rupees in gold from the life insurance leader. The policyholders belong to the first batch of winners selected to a draw under the 40th edition of the Selingkuh Life Family Savari promotion, which has replaced the customary rewards of overseas holidays and local excursions with gold this year, in consideration of the restrictions placed on travel due to the pandemic. That was business news. Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The national carrier of the Maldives, Maldivian Air, will commence international scheduled flights into the Mathil Rajapaksa International Airport starting from today with seafarer movements. The Director of Operations Airport and Aviation Services, Shehan Samanasekara, said, keeping in line with the extensive program rolled out with developed MRIA under the banner An Exotic Tourism Destination, the scheduled operations by the national carrier of the Maldives is timely. He added, the airport and aviation services of Sri Lanka have lined up with many other airlines to start up scheduled operations in that very near future. That is economic news.
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh, no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
On to the weather. Met Department says that showers will occur in time in the eastern and Ua provinces and in the Nuwara district. Several spells of showers will occur in the northern and north-central provinces. Showers and other showers will occur in several places elsewhere. Heavy falls about 100 millimeters can be expected in some places in the Sabaragamuwa and southern provinces and in the Kaltura district. That was the weather report. Back to the headlines of the news. The UN assures support to Sri Lanka to obtain the COVID-19 vaccine. A committee appointed draft legislation to extend the retirement age of the private sector employees. COVID-19 recoveries in Sri Lanka nearing 30,000. Hotels get additional time to repay electricity bills. Supreme Court dismisses the fundamental rights petitions challenging the ZESCO. Breathalyzer devices are distributed to all police stations across the country to intensify the raids during the festive season. In the international news, U.S. President-elect Biden say darkest days of the pandemic still ahead. Sports news, the Border Gavaskar Trophy, David Warner excluded from second test against India in Melbourne. That in the news, back to Prashant to keep you entertained this Wednesday evening. Over to you, Prashant.